This is Twitter, except every post is made by a fictional character. And things got crazy. But to understand how we got here, we start at the beginning. So recently, I've come across a theory called the dead internet theories. Okay, maybe not that scary. For those who don't know what that is, the idea is that most of the internet are written mostly by bots. From posts to comments of comments. That's just a theory, but I'm here to make it real. So when I'm talking about building Twitter, I don't mean building the whole thing. All we had to do is to make some basic features like tweeting, commenting, and liking. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started. Alright, now that we got some basic layout of Twitter, we have some buttons on the left and right. That's just there to look important. So they do absolutely nothing. And now what's left here is the basic feature like tweeting and replying and all the good stuff. And let me just do it real quick. Okay, my past self was an idiot. Because that was not real quick. It took me several sleepless nights, but at least I got it to work, I think. And after some more finishing touches, here's what each tweets look like. Here we got a profile picture, a name, timestamp, like count, and of course we gotta be a little bit toxic and add the disliking button. And if you press this button, you will see all the comments on this tweet. And as a side note, I also made a profile page. Even though it won't be that useful, I'm doing it because I think it's cool. And this might be the only reality where my Twitter account has more than one follower. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and... Okay, so here what I'm thinking for how the bots would work. For every 30 minutes, each bot checks the latest 200 tweets, including all their replies, and then decides what to do. It will have the choice to tweet, like, comment, and dislike, or it can do all of the above, or it can do nothing. And all of these decisions are made completely by the large language model. So it's really unpredictable and chaotic, which is what we want. Okay, now the bot needs a brain, and we have to choose which large language model to use. Now there's a lot of choice right now. Well, it's quite a complicated process to choose, because you gotta take into account things like how small it is, its context window. Actually, we're choosing Gemini, because they have a free tier, and I don't want to pay for this. But of course, nothing works the first time. While I was coding, I keep seeing this rate limit error. Turns out Gemini's free tier only allows like 5 to 30 requests per minute, depending on the model. And since I'm broke and I'm not about to upgrade, instead I came up with another solution. So instead of having every bot tweet exactly every 30 minutes, I made them each tweet at a random time within the 30 minutes window, spreading out the requests. That way we can work around the rate limit without paying more, and it feels a little bit more chaotic. So it's a win-win. But even after fixing that, something feels off. So while I was coding, I noticed that most of the bot were just chatting randomly on all sorts of stuff. But I wanted something a little bit more different. I want them to actually talk about the same topic and build sort of like a storyline. Kind of like how things trend and blows up on Twitter. So I came up with an idea to have a special bot that I call a news reporter. So what it does is watches what's going on and amplifies the chaos. And how it works is that for every 40 minutes, it scans recent tweets and writes its own dramatic headlines based on the bot's interaction. And now the last question is, which fictional characters will use our app? The theme here is heroes versus villains. On one side, we got the heroes. Most notably, we have Batman, Iron Man, Spider-Man. And on the other side are the supervillains. Most notably, the Joker, Green Goblin, Thanos. We also got some surprise guests that will appear later on, so stay tuned. Now that that's out of the way, it's time for our first test run. Okay, after I run it for a few hours, I got some good news and bad news. Here's my first reaction to it. Alright, I have run it for like quite a while, and I think it posted something. Let's see. Yes! Wait, no, wait, break it? Why is there break it here? Look at Deadpool, bro. Deadpool's logo. Wait, I wonder why there's no comments. There's no comments? I think the first thing we need to fix is the curly brackets here. I don't know why it does that. And then second, what is bro writing? Is bro writing an essay? Come on. Who does he think he is? A journalist? Okay, so the boss tweeted. That's the good news. But there's some stuff we need to fix, like no comments, no liking, no disliking. Also, we have to set a limit on how much they should write, because I ain't reading all that. It shouldn't be that hard, right? Okay, so everything should be fixed. Everyone should be able to comment, like, dislike, and I also add some word limits to all of our bots, so it won't be too verbose. Now it's time to test this thing for real. Okay, so I ran this program for like a few days, and we got over 500 tweets, which is an overkill, but we got some interesting storylines developing. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so at the beginning, everyone just tweets normally. We see Superman telling bad jokes repeatedly. Let's look at this one. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. He deserves all those dislikes. And he didn't stop there. He keeps telling dad jokes. Is his character like this? Why is he doing this? But then someone finally snapped at him. So on this joke, he said, "What do you call a fly without a wing? A walk." And then the joke replied, "They must have told this one right before Krypton went kaboom." And he got a dislike. I wonder who that is. And after destroying Superman, Joker went on to announce a party that he's hosting. But I don't know what he's thinking here. Cause we know Batman also used this program. Maybe it's a trap, I don't know. And then we see our news reporter. Source confirmed. Moments after Joker announced a party at Ace Chemicals, the bat signal was lit over Gotham. Everything was fine until it happened. So I just keep scrolling, and suddenly every tweet is about it. The OS war. At first I was kinda confused, maybe it's just a random bug or something. But turns out is that they're arguing over which operating system should run the universe according to their ideology. And I think it's Thanos that has started this trend. He introduced his Infinity OS, where the only thing it does is deleting half the universe using a Linux command. And it looks like half of the users on this platform doesn't like that. Lex Luthor announces Lex OS, bragging about his OS security. Iron Man then downplays Lex OS security and announces his own Stark OS. The Joker then just come and trash talk everyone. He said Lex OS steal your data. Batman's OS, Justice OS, puts you to sleep. And then he's announced his own Joker OS. It's getting crazy over here. And then our surprise guest, Neil deGrasse Tyson. On Twitter, he's known for debunking science in movies and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be funny he'd be here. And in our program, he's not that different. Here, he just downplays this whole OS war and says it's not really realistic. But in my opinion, the only good OS here is Alfred's Butler OS, which the only thing he claims to do is making tea. Even Iron Man offered to maintain the Butler OS. If these operating systems were chosen by votes, he would win, considering the overwhelming likes he has. But they decide not to vote. Guess what method they came up with to settle this? Yep, you got it. A dance-off. Star-Lord started this off by saying that in an alternate universe, he won the dance-off. Robin and Groot seems to be ready for this. Wait. Green Goblin says, my dance-off involves synchronized glider strike set to Wagner. The finale is explosive? What does that mean?